are any of these gonna run into a problem with us doing the roads or whatever it is? Any of these wanna start it right at, like, tomorrow?
He's coming, they're starting the roads Tuesday.
Yeah, okay, so they're,
Right, but yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know. Either wrong
Wait, we're
information.
looking for them today. They know they.
Communication's a big problem with these people, with everybody. So, we keep our fingers crossed for Tuesday. It could have got tied up because of weather, but it only rained that one day, didn't it? That's
Also
not.
pay when the weather's hot, it'll set better.
Yeah.
Some things never.
Yeah, they were held up back because of the weather. It was too hot.
No, never too hot for blacktop. It's the best time to put it down.
But they said that they got tied up on another job. Well, that's what they said.
He didn't tell me any reason, he just said he's coming Tuesday, so.
Okay.
well, it would seem, I guess the only potential problems would be those with heavy equipment like the well and the pavers, right? I'll talk to them. Come to think, I know the well wasn't gonna be done until next month because he doesn't get here, so that one's safe.
Do you want me to
Well,
include it in
when
the
Mr.
letter?
Feller called me, that's why I told him to get a hold of you right away because they were gonna start paving and I didn't know when he wanted to do that. I said, you might be held up here.
I'll warn them of that. I wish we had a good schedule for it.
Well, that's the thing, they're gonna start in Coral Bean and work their way back, and we're thinking a 2 or 3 week time frame, but, I don't know what direction they're gonna go in, you know, once they start, so,
I'll just warn them to be aware.
yeah.
First choices.
You know, I got a bunch of colors together from Home Depot, so I will, in the near future, make up this color chart to try to give people something to look at. Maybe we can print them up at Office Max or something, because, you know, you deal with the primary colors, right? Red, blue, yellow, it's a little, it can be a little iffy, you know, and the secondary colors, where when you mix each of those, orange, green, and then you start getting into the more neutral colors, and they're easier on the eyes. But, you know, this last system of doing things with all the names of paints wasn't really working. I mean, Jack Winklejohn, God bless him, he worked hard at trying to nip it in the bud, but, you know, here's somebody 2 houses away, they painted that dark terracotta, they painted the soffits, they painted the siding, everything. You know, that's not gonna fly. We have to do something that sticks, and there's a zillion colors you could use that are acceptable, and we're gonna have to come up with some solution. So I think that might be the best bet. Stay in some kind of category where you still have plenty of options, so. All right, so we make a motion to accept the,
No, I would suggest that at the end, we just really look through them and before we just jump into making a motion, because I see right now, I would almost prefer that they want this, the house, and this, the trim. There's no contrast there. That'd be better if the house was that and the trim was
It's a
that.
subtle contrast, but it's still, you would see it on the house. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to tell with these samples. That's another thing. But there is a big difference. I say big difference. It's a subtle difference, but it will look like a big difference when it's on the house.
I suggest we just go through these later.
all right, we can do that. Okay, Mike, Tommy, go with the Covenants Committee. Thank you, Doug.
Can I wing it too?
You can wing it.
All right. Okay, so we've got a number of items that the Covenant Committee met on today. I'm going to start with the old business first, which were a few deferrals that we had from last month that we carried over to this month. 3 of them on Dahoon Holly, 4107 Dahoon Holly, which was sod, browned and damaged, 4109, which was the same thing, and 4116, which had a little bit more than sod. It was plant beds and mulch, etc. And these were all inspected. couple of them appeared to have some improvement last month, and they in fact have improved greatly. 4107's got a lot of improvement. The lawn looks pretty good. 4109 looks like it has a new lawn completely.
I think it does, because
Yeah.
it was all pulled out.
Yeah, and 4116, I was really impressed today when I went by.
They're making way.
Yeah, I mean, she has done a lot to improve the look of the place. There's a lot of mulch all spread, and the beds look nice. Everything's trimmed. She's got some edging up. She needs some help with somebody, whoever cuts her lawn's got to trim a little bit better on the edge portions around the bushes and the corners of the house and things like that. But other than that, I mean, the place looks 100% better than it did a month ago. So the committee recommended on all three of these, 4107, 4109, and 4116, to close these and take no further action.
Now you got something. That's the old
Two,
stuff.
that's it. Well, and I got one more old one. 23458 Old Meadowbrook Circle. This was the pool heater situation where the folks were running the pool heater, even though there was an agreement made some time ago. And the renter that's in the property did send some correspondence to the property manager's office and stated that she turned the pool heater off after they had a couple incidents at the beginning of May with it being on. There was one more incident after that where it was on, and we had that independently verified by one of our committee members. But even though that occurred, it's been very quiet since then, so the committee was more inclined to close this at this point and take no action. Of course, if something could occur in the future, it would be handled as another complaint, and then we would be definitely inclined to recommend the intent to fine letter at that time. So right now, we recommend no action on this. Okay, and then we have some new ones, letters that went out on the 19th of May, 23433 Old Meadowbrook Circle. This was a unregistered vehicle parked in the driveway for some time. That has been corrected by the owner. The registration is actually up to date now, and so the committee recommends no action. 4129 Old Meadowbrook Lane. This was a sod, brown and dead sod in areas, and it does have some areas of dead and browning sod. However, the committee is inclined to defer this complaint for 30 days, or recommend a deferral for 30 days, just to give folks some time. In every instance that I'm reading, folks have responded to the property manager, so that in itself is encouraging, because many times that doesn't happen. But they all had somewhat of a different tale, reasons why, but all were working on it, or almost all were working on it. So in this case, at 4129 Old Meadowbrook Lane, they had sent a letter, and he had taken some action on it and trying to work towards it. We just think we should give them a little more time in all fairness. So that's why we're recommending a deferral for 30 days on that. 23410 Old Meadowbrook Circle, we had the same situation, brown and dead sod. This address has quite a bit throughout the front yard. Now, the gentleman also sent a response. He did take some action and he put in some plugs. However, I don't know that what he's done is really going to make the difference. He's got to do more. But again, we're more inclined to give him another 30 days to do that and communicate that to him, and then see where we're at then. You know, the other thing too is that, I mean, there are not a lot of great looking lawns in the community, but given the fact of the winter we've had and the fact that we're right in the dead of dry season, we're waiting for these rains to come. We also would like to see